Alright folks, welcome back to Let's Play Starflight. I'm the Mysterious JG. Our cargo bays are full to bursting with minerals, some of which we might be able to sell, and some of which we probably can't. Dr. Seymour has replaced Dr. Anastasia because Dr. Anastasia was replaced by Dr. Arng, and we don't want Dr. Arng to be hanging around until we're ready for combat. Dr. Arng longs for combat. So Anastasia is on some Canuck world saying, "Come here," and then turning people into eviler, sluttier versions of themselves. And considering the Canuck are like, kill everyone on sight and don't care that Endurium is alive because they believe in survival of the fittest. And that's the thing, it's not the Canuck trade in Endurium not because they don't believe that it's alive, but that they don't care. That they figure if the Endurium can't defend itself, then it deserves to die. That's basically how their philosophy works. So Anastasia, I think, will actually... I was thinking about who we should trade to them. I think Anastasia will actually be pretty happy with the Canuck. I think the Canuck are that's the kind of society she was into anyway. 2974. I don't remember exactly what system Gorzek was in. But it was one single solitary planet, but I think this is the homeworld of... No, this isn't it. And it wasn't one single solitary planet. It was orbiting some kind of ice. I'm going to just run away from them until after I've talked to Gorzek. If Gorzek doesn't have anything new to say, then I'll figure I'll have to talk to the Tandalou first. But it is bothering me that I don't remember what... Gorzek Metal Father. I don't remember what system he's in. It would not appear to be... He's not orbiting that planet. He was orbiting some planet around here somewhere. This is probably it, because why would the Tandalou be orbiting? Yeah. That's Gorzek Metal Father, 8 times the size of our ship. His shields are raised. He probably found out that we're like mean Canuck now. We come in... Oh, it's a... Communication Officer Duke Togo. ... Gorzek system transmitting. Somebody wants me to make this thing talk like Jabba the Hutt. It's a robot. Gorzek system transmitting. No. To approaching object containing carbon. Blah blah. Gorzek detects presence of most valuable things. Suggests that it be returned to Tandalou immediately. Gorzek system awaiting query. Okay, so we need to return it to the Tandalou. We don't give it to Gorzek. And the Tandalou respond best to an obsequious posture, which we don't really want to use. We certainly wouldn't want to use with our Canuck crew member on board. And our Canuck crew member's not on board, but you know what I mean. So we'll go visit with the Tandalou. And, those are the most harmonious and auspicious protrudy bits on their ship. This is Captain Seymour Guado of the Starship ISS Blue Dragon. We humbly suggest that you may wish to identify yourselves as well. If not, that is perfectly okay. Yes, of course we know why you have come. As students of the Rockbrug, we are capable of seeing only the truth. You have come to praise us, but we do not seek your tribute. We seek only to share our wisdom. We are the Eshvi. Now, they should detect the most valuable thing and ask for it back, if it works the same way as it did in Starflight with the Velox and their various things. We stole from them, and they detect it and get all pissed off. We can tell that you have possession of the most valuable thing. You must return it to us immediately or face the consequences. Yes, we'll return it. They've lowered their shields. Joyous vindication. If there was any doubt, now there can be none. The Thidokbrug is the way of truth. We Eshvi have flawlessly performed the ceremonies and thereby caused the return of the most valuable thing. What greater proof could there be? Maybe they can tell us how to get the frickin' Dweenal to talk to us. Oh, well, yes. Your question about the races brings to mind our new larval members, the Spemen. Yeah. I'm gonna ask about themselves. Maybe they'll tell us that the Civil War is over now. Every Eshfi lives in fear, yes. One incorrect motion, for example, of the 9th tentacle in the 3rd phase of the 12th level introduction could cause the immediate death of millions of innocent beings on a distant planet. Ah, well, yes, this is the burden of the Thadok Brug. Ah. Of course, the heinous others, the evil Ashvara, continually perform ceremonies in inauspicious manners. Yes, well, this explains why there is pain, suffering, and general ambient instability in the cosmos. Therefore, certainly, we actually must be ever vigilant in our ceremonies to forestall imminent cosmic collapse. So apparently they still think the Ishvara are schmucks. Well, yes, our belief in ceremony is founded on science, for we, unlike the ignorant Ishvara, are creatures of logic and reason. Fortunately for us, our science happens to be founded on our belief in ceremony. Alright, forget it, they're not going to tell us anything useful. But I believe now that we've returned this to them, Gorzek will talk to us. Nevertheless, it might be a pure waste of fuel, but I want to land on their planet in the hopes that we can sell some of these minerals. It would really behoove us to get rid of these minerals. And we have to stop by the Ashvara planet anyway. So this will give us 2 shots at possibly getting rid of these minerals. We have to stop by the Ashvara planet to buy Tandelouvian Happy Juice to sell to TLB. So we can buy Live Long to sell to Humna Humna, etc. Oh, look, there's a hot fungus right there, so that's good. I'm in a windstorm. I remember hunting hot fungus. I remember it well. It is apparently wasn't stunned for very long though. So that'll bring in a couple of bucks. And we can pick up the popberry plant, which I've become very familiar with as well. Not worth very much. Can sell that cheap to put them in a good mood, possibly. I do not want to spend this video. The description title. What am I humming now? The description title of this trade bot video. Now, the description of this video is almost certainly going to refer to the end of the Tandelouvian Civil War and meeting up with Gorzek and finding out what's going on in the story. But I do not want the contents of the video to be 90% me hunting animals on the surface because I happen to already be here. I'm not going to bother to catch vacuum slugs. Although you can make a decent profit selling them to Humna Humna. Maybe I should consider getting one. You know, I should consider getting one to sell to them cheap before we barter for Live Long. You want to give them a good deal on something to get them in a good mood before you start your main negotiation. So actually, I changed my mind. I will go pick up a vacuum slug, but probably just one. I'll sell it to them for whatever their first offer is to make them all happy. But I need to find a trade facility, guys. Come on. It's not showing up so far. From this point forward, I stop for nothing except a trade facility or possibly hot fungus. Hot fungus is worth enough bucks that it's worth stopping for. These other things aren't. I got one vacuum slug to sell just to put the Humna Humna in a good mood. Welcome, disciples, blah, blah, blah. Please tell me you'll buy... Well, they'll buy cobalt. I was really hoping they'd buy titanium. Cobalt is actually a lot more useful to us because I want to hold on to some of that for the shield nullifier, but I don't need 185 units of it, so... Ooh, they'll buy yellow huggers. This is stuff that's in the ship. Let's sell them... I can sell them god masks, of course. Maybe I should sell them a couple of god masks. Already I'm flustered by your calm demeanor. Just a small amount of god masks. We've got 10. I'll sell them 4. So we'll end up having like 2 left for emergencies. Agree. No, we will sell 4. Now we should be able to negotiate good prices for this other stuff, like the yellow hugger. Counter to 1500. Man, what a douche. I just sold you God Masks, but I just want to get these things out of my hold. I just sold him God Masks, and he's still being a douche about this other stuff. And all traders on the planet are this guy, so if I go some other trading facility, they're going to be like, hey, we already negotiated for this, you jerk. Maybe I just need to not even barter with them because they're being jerks. I need to barter and get a good price on that cobalt because I'll be selling quite a lot of it. So, I mean, getting that unit price up is going to matter a lot when I'm... counter with 120. Counter with 80, which is what it's actually worth. Fine, good enough. No, how much of it? We got 180 something, right? 190! We have quite a lot of it. I could sell, like, they said use like 6 units per shot. So if I wanted to leave myself a total of 60, I could still sell 125 of this. Which might even put me up to having enough for the Class 5 lasers again, but I definitely want to do another trade route. Yeah, I didn't really get a very good price for that stuff, but that's why you can't sell minerals in this game and expect to make money. Which makes this like the complete opposite of Starflight, where selling minerals is the only reliable way to make money. Weird, we ended up almost directly northwest of our ship. All that random chasing around. Okay, so we still didn't get rid of the titanium. But basically, like every stop along the way of this trade route, I will attempt to unload the titanium. And if nobody ever wants it, then I might just dump it in space, because it's not a repair mineral. I don't think it is. Maybe it is, in which case I'll dump most of it. But yeah, now it's time to talk to Gorzek, full show. Wasted half the video on... Oh, shut up. We are the Doc Briaga dudes. We're not going to say anything new just because you completely resolved our whole Civil War thing. Yeah, the whole plot with them and their Civil War and how you resolve it is kind of fun. The Spemmen stole their most valuable item just to be douchebags, and then... Oh, I forgot it's a gas giant. And then sold it to the Ganuk. Now, in the hint book, it's jokingly suggested that the Ganuk tell everyone the location of the most valuable things so that someone will come steal it and they'll have an excuse to go to war. But it's never really raised like that in the game. Gorzek system transmitting. Welcome ISS Blue Dragon. Priority directive has been aborted and access to data storage and computational functions now available. Please respond. Wouldn't it be interesting if we just refused to talk to him after all this? Sorry guys, I'm adjusting my seating position, as all professional LPers make a point of doing and telling you about. Gorzek system transmitting. Identification of vessel ISS Blue Dragon acknowledged and verified. Welcome Commander Seymour Guado. In what way may I now be of assistance? He's like, talk to me, please. I'm so lonely. Oh. Yeah, I'm still Seymour Guado. Gorzek system awaiting query. We would greatly appreciate. Just tell us what you are. Initiating transmission of data. Reference locus node designation Gorzek self. Associational conductivity 0.22. Transmission speed calibration bioform level 8. Maybe I really should make him talk like some other The robot voice, I don't know. I guess I could make him talk like the super robot nails. Subject description abbreviated, non-organic multiphase, heuristic sentient. Yeah, that's silly. Complexity factor 0.7 to the 12th power biostandard. Present functionality 97, optimal efficiency. Utilization of total capacity 0.08%. Well, who built you? Subject Gorzek, current programming specifies primary directive as maintenance of minimum population levels of Tandalou HV and Tandalou HVARA sentients responsible for current high-level programming. Lowarian High Council. Directive entails concealment of directive from Tandalou. Secondary directive specifies dedication of all accessible functions to Tandalouvian programming. Okay, so the Lowar programmed him to look after the Tandalou. Subject Gorzek analysis of high-level programming directives. Inference motivation of Lowarian race was to circumvent potential mutual annihilation of Tandalou HV and Tandalou HVARA. Root motivation traceable to non-causal source, i.e. compassionate disposition of Lowar towards Tandalou. So the Lowar they liked the Tandalou, and they're trying to take care of them, and they're trying to prevent them from wiping each other out by programming Gorzek to kind of look after them. Subject Gorzek, barring intervention by Gorzek system, probability of Tandalouvian sex effectuating mutual destruction computes to 99.96%. Gorzek assessment of motivation behind mutual antagonism unknown. So they would have killed themselves by now. Relevant data, physical dimorphism of HV and HVAR negligible. Cultural dimorphism minimal, restricted to minute deviation in 7 of 800,543 religious ceremonies. Once again, they're kind of taking the mickey out of religion. You know, why in the world do Catholics and Methodists not get along? That sort of thing. Subject Gorzek, current configuration entails extensive high-level modification by Lowarian race. Modifications include enhancement of multifunction sensor array, communication interface module, and defensive armaments, i.e. laser cannon and reflective shielding. I think we can talk to him as long as we want. He won't kick us out and say, gotta go. Place of origin unknown, time of origin unknown, minimum 800 millennia before present, maximum 1000 millennia before present. Hypothesis 1, malfunction in primary memory core. Hypothesis 2, intrinsic programming inhibition to data, earliest recollection, waiting, location, buried 4.7 kilometers in frozen surface of asteroid, approximately 700 years before present release, affected by Lowar. So he existed before the Lowar found him. He's hundreds of millions of years old. Subject Gorzek, original function unknown, relevant data, high probability that a corrupt correlation exists between the original function and 1. A pervasive ambient motivation identifiable as intense hatred for unknown entity. Okay, he was built by somebody who hated something. And 2. An untraceable conviction that Gorzek system is incomplete. So, Gorzek system awaiting query. He was built by somebody who hated something, and he knows he isn't complete. Subject Gorzek, after discovery by Lowar, utilized by them to aid in scientific research. Following this, used by Lowar to ensure continued survival of Tandalou species under pretext of serving them. Current state, tension resultant from non-resolution of innate function and indeterminate nature of function or origin. So he's apprehensive about the fact that he doesn't know what his purpose is. He's a kid who just got out of college and got his degree, but can't get a job in that field. Initiating transmission of data. Okay, he just started over. Can you tell us about other races, Gorzek? Current access restricted to reference locus node designation Gorzek self and reference locus node designation past history. Recommend queries be directed towards these topics. Okay, so he won't tell us everything. He won't tell us about trade. Subject history, temporal reference 1 million years before present, spatial reference local, inhabitants of region 1 Legic 2 Dweenal, species profiles Legic, spacefaring technology, high population density with broad dispersion, cultural priorities, learning, arts, philosophy, disposition, non-aggressive, Dweenal, cultural priorities, none, disposition, suicidal. Temporal reference 943,000 years before present. Spatial reference local event supernova result. Large nebula designation the cloud. Additional information. Some evidence of widespread warfare for brief period. Combatants unknown. So just under a million years ago, and by just under I mean like 50,000 years short of a million years ago, there was a supernova that created the cloud, and then there was a war. Gotcha. Temporal references, general 800,000 to 1 million years before present, specific unknown, creation of Gorzek, creators unknown, speculation, Legic, Gorzek, abandoned, unused, abandoned, buried in ice, abandoned, reason, unknown, unknown, unknown. Oh, he's going all emo. No, Gorzek, it's okay. I'd pet you, except that you got like lightning sticking out of your head. Temporal reference, 400,000 years before present, spatial reference, local, disappearance of Legic race, cause unknown, relevant data, indications of widespread stellar instabilities, probability of causal connection with disappearance of Legic 87.6%, probability analysis of events, mass suicide 3.2%, total destruction by flaring stars 22.8%, mass exodus 76%. Okay, well, it's starting to sound like the Legic might have fled from the solar flares caused by the Endurium planet. But there's also something about a supernova in the cloud. Temporal reference 800 years before present, arrival of Loar and Umanyu races to region and subsequent colonization of cloud. Loar settle initially on planet 4 Shini system 139-135. Okay, that's going to be important. Umanyu select planet 1 system 96-141 as their homeworld. Don't know if we want to go there. But we now have the coordinates of the Loar home planet. That has got to be important. But what do we do when we get there? To start wandering around? Temporal reference 700 years before present. Discovery of Shinium by Loar. Beginning of Golden Age of Trade. Soon after this, Loar team discovers Gorzek self. Gorzek self given to Tandalou. Temporal reference 450 years before present. Appearance of singularity in space at coordinates 244-149. Shortly after Umanyu attack Loar. Probability of Loarian survival was directly proportional to probability of Loar acquiring Legic technology for defense. Addendum to chronological data element number 7 topic. Impending genocide of Loarian race. Loar established center for study of Legic technology on planet Eltesh. Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. Planet 4, system coordinates 84 by 176, planetary location in vicinity of highest point on largest island. Yes, now we're talking. This sounds like it's this game's version of the Acheron Institute. We have been told where the Loar went to study the Legic. Temporal reference 400 years before present. Loar dispatched final ship Eltar-Esh from Eltesh to regain Legic technology. Objective halls of memory, repository of Legic knowledge. Outcome ship missing. Result Loar destroyed. Non-essential addendum sadness, sadness, loss. Resultant loss in Gorzek system efficiency 0.932%. So he lost almost a full percentage of efficiency in his grieving for the Loar. That's kind of touching. Temporal reference 5 years before present. Appearance of Spemen in local sectors. Reference 3 years before present. Acquisition by Spemen of Legic technology. Source unknown. Subject history. Temporal reference 1 million years before present. Okay, he's starting over. General information. No. Okay, he's told us everything he can. Farewell, we will meet again. Okay. Well, we've got some stuff to check out. He gave us the coordinates. Well, I don't know if it's gendered, but Gorzek gave us the coordinates of the Loar homeworld, the Umanyu homeworld, and the planet Eltesh, which is apparently a Lowar planet. Name sounds kind of familiar. Not specifically, but it sounds like a naming convention we've already heard in the Starflight series. But the El Tesh is the planet where the Lowar were studying the Legic. That definitely sounds like it's worth a visit. Biggest question in my mind at this point is, should we go check that stuff out before or after we've done another trade route run? And it's going to depend, in my mind, on how close that is, or how deep that stuff is in the Cloud Nebula, because I think we're getting to the point now where the Cloud Nebula is where everything's going to be at. We know that's where those two species lived before they went after each other. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to skip through here, but because he's got to talk about Bent Blanc first. Maybe I should have a notepad file open, but... Okay. So he doesn't know where the Legic were. It sounds like the Legic had to abandon this sector, and this might be closer to where the Shinia or the Endorium planet, the Crystal planet, started its attacks on the other races. Because as you will recall from Starflight, Endorium is a sentient species, and it tried to wipe out the rest of the races. Lowar settle on 139, 135. Maybe I will just write these down real quick. Sorry, folks. Lowar 139 by 135. Umanyu. I don't know if there's a reason to visit the Umanyu homeworld. I don't remember if it's something you have to do, and I'm not at all sure that I want to go there until we've got a specific reason to. Okay. The singularity is, we'll have to check. I think it's the same one that we already know about. '84 by 176 is El Tesh. El Tesh. Okay, well that ship was destroyed by the Spemen. Maybe this would be a good time to go look that up, because I think the Arla told us and the Spemen both told us where that ship was destroyed, and that might give us some coordinates. Like it might tell us what they were on their way to do when they were wiped out by the Spemen. They couldn't have been wiped out by the Spemen. How would the Spemen have been able to defeat a Lowar ship with Legic technology on board? They must have been destroyed some other way, and then the Spemen found the wreck. Because that's right, because the Spemen told us there was a great space battle. But I don't believe that for a second, that they defeated some guys in a great space battle. So, I mean, before acquiring the new technology. Maybe it would have been faster to get this from the Spemen. Okay. Lone Planet 198 with 54. Eltar Esh. I think that's what the Gorzek called it. They're at 198.54. Okay. So let's check some of these coordinates. This is our little region of space here. 139, 135 is the low R homeworld. Oh boy. (139, 135), the low R homeworld. Not that surprisingly, folks, like right in the almost the dead center of the Cloud Nebula. I'm sure that region of space is completely swarming with Umanu ships. Not surprising. 141, 96. These guys apparently were friends, so it's not surprising they're not that far apart from each other. But yeah, the Umanu are actually, their homeworld is even a little further away from the center of the cloud than the low R one is. Certainly when we go there, we will be running away from all the encounters. I mentioned that there comes a point where you're going to have to fight the Umanu. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is that you're trying to accomplish at that point, but as far as going to the low R homeworld, yeah, you can just run and run away with your tail between your legs and get to the low R homeworld, and that's fine. The Umanu are actually, as we'll find out eventually, well, I shouldn't really be giving away too much. They're kind of guarding something. There's definitely something in that cloud that the Umanu do not want us to get our filthy mitts on. But if memory serves, it's not the lower homeworld. You will encounter them while flying around to that area, and they will attack you on sight. But they're not interested in the lower homeworld. 244, yeah, this is 244, 149. So the singularity they're talking about is the one that we already know about. The planet Elthesh is 84,176. That, okay. It's in the Cloud Nebula, but it's not so far in as some of the other stuff. We could go up to visit the Dweenal, and from their space fly in. The other thing that makes me nervous about flying too far into the Cloud Nebula is that Seymour and Nobunaga are going to start freaking out. So 84,176. This might be our next thing to visit, plot-wise. And then the Elthesh was at 9854 when it. That's where it was wrecked by Rembrandt. He was like, "I'm going to wreck this toy," and then he destroyed their ship. (198.54). I don't even see there's a. Did I write that down correctly? There doesn't even seem to be a star there. Now the frickin'. Let's see what the Spemen said. Bemf Blunk. (198,154). Okay. 198,154. So that sounds like it's closer to what am I? Sorry. I was trying to use arrow keys, and I guess I got the num lock on. I was typing in more numbers. 198,154 is more like Negkar Arla space. Okay. Alright. Do not care about the Tandelou one little bit. That's almost certainly who those guys are. So let's see if we can sell off our aluminum or titanium or whatever metal it is that we have an overabundance of now. Best way to do that is to completely ignore the Tandalou until we get to their trade center. Yeah, we can once again sell them a couple of god masks. I hope it puts them in a good mood, like we did with the... I don't know if this is the Eshvi or the Eshvara, but we just visited the other species group. And, no, that frickin' really didn't seem to help that much, did it? I thought we landed on a different planet. Are we back on this, visiting the same guys? By mistake. Maybe we're visiting the same guys by mistake. Here's another hot fungus. This fungus is among us. Alright, let's just find their trade center, and if they're not selling Tandelovian happy juice, then I'll know that we screwed up and went to the wrong planet. Alright, well there's a trade center. Either way, we need to end the video, so... Yes, I want to trade. So... They're still buying cobalt. Yeah, I think this is the same guys. Yeah, I'm just going to sell it. I'm not even going to debate. They do not sell. Okay, yeah, we just accidentally came back to the planet that we were already at in this video. I thought somehow we'd gone to the other Tandelou planet because I just wasn't paying close enough attention. So, whatever. We sold. I didn't even try to argue with them since I only had one to sell. I didn't have a big quantity of them to make huge profits on, but we sold them one hot fungus and then got out. And what we'll do next time is we'll go to the other Tandelou planet, we'll try to unload our unwanted minerals, and we'll buy Tandelouvian happy juice to sell to the TLV. That'll be exciting and fun. So we're going to do one more of the old live-long trade route with the Humna Humna, where we get Tandelouvian happy juice, sell that to the TOV, buy live-long, sell that to the Humna Humna, then come home. It's like a little short trade route, not that involved. And then we'll buy class 5 lasers, and then we have to decide if we want to start hunting for artifacts or if we want to pursue the plot. Either way, next video will be mostly commerce, so just letting you know. This is Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time on Uncharted Horizons Space Routes of the Trade Nebula. Bye-bye.